Alright guys, so today I'm going to be tearing down the old motor from my Genesis, finding out what exactly happened. I'm assuming it's a bearing, but I guess I'm gonna find out pretty shortly here. So without further ado, let's get started. I'm gonna get bags real quick so I can put all these stuff in baggies, you know, keep track of them so I don't lose it. Nice. So the head looks horrible. It's just everything is burnt to all hell. Great. So it's a different day. I ended up getting caught up doing some stuff. My cousin came over and we're working on his pre-runner. I forgot to record that, but you know, so I took the head off, or the valve cover off, and I took the timing set cover off, and this is what we got. It's super caked in there. It just does not look good. It's just burnt everywhere. And then this is the cams. I have a little bit of scoring on the cams, not so much on the lobes. Some of the lobes are burnt, but I have some scoring right here. Scoring all pretty much everywhere where the caps were. But I don't have all that much scoring on the caps themselves. But yeah, the cams, they might be salvageable. I don't know, this one's kind of deep. They might be able to get polished, but I'm not gonna keep them. I'm just probably gonna end up getting different cams, probably some Tomei cams or something. But I'm gonna go ahead and take the head off right now. But yeah, this is the top of the motor. This is just taking the valve cover off, the cams out. It's not looking good so far, so I guess we'll find out what we find. I guess we'll see what we find when I take the head off in a second. So guys, I'm taking the head off right now, and I was doing this bolt right here, this head bolt, and I actually stripped it. So which one was I using? I was using this guy right here, and you know, this is, I think it's a Harbor Freight one. Oh, it's Duralast. I was using a cheap Star or Hex bolt or socket, and it ended up torquing the socket, and then it automatically, obviously, it stripped the bolt. So what I did is I grabbed one of the good ones, and then I ended up stuffing a towel in it to kind of make up for the difference of it being stripped, obviously, and it actually worked. I can't tell you guys how nervous I was, because I knew if I stripped it even more to the point of no return, this thing would have been a pain in the ass to get out. But I got it out. Now I gotta get the bolt out, or the socket. But yeah, this, just be super careful when you guys are taking off the head, and use good stuff that's not gonna break on you, and then ultimately strip the fucking head bolts. But yeah, I just wanted to share that with you guys. Know that I was sweating, that I was profusely, I was fucking scared, but you know, I got it out, so it's all good. For you guys that actually wanted to see how it's stripped, yeah, it was pretty stripped. So I got really lucky with that one. That would not have been fun. Well, not using that guy. I'm not using any of them again, actually, but you know, this guy is a pain in the ass. You know, mad respect to people that build engines for a living, because when I took the valve cover off this thing and saw that it had the hex bolts and not just a standard, just like socket bolt, I got super scared, because you know, those things strip a lot easier in my opinion. or at least it's a lot easier, I guess, for error. But yeah, I was really hoping that I wasn't gonna end up stripping a freaking bolt in here. Luckily, I got them all loose without doing that. I mean, that one was really close, but I got lucky. But yeah, mad respect, because I'm sure it happens every now and then. I have a buddy who's been a mechanic for the dealership for a while, and he used to work at Mitsubishi as a tech. And he used to say how every once in a while, you know, if you get a bolt stripped in the head or in the block, it's kind of like the dealership just eats the cost and ends up having to buy a new one. But yeah, I'm lucky that didn't happen today, because I want to use this head. I want to port it, get ported out, you know, obviously get it remachined and all that good stuff. But yeah, it's not fun. It's you know, it's fun working on motors and all, but every once in a while, you know, stuff like that happens. It's always super scary. So yeah, respect. For any of you guys that are debating whether getting into building motors, I would definitely start with this platform, or four bangers in general. Like, buy yourself a little Honda that maybe has a blown head gasket or a blown motor or something of that sort, and then start building that motor. Because, you know, these motors, or four cylinders in general, are way less complicated motors as opposed to like that guy over there. I have a 4.3 VTEC, or not Honda, a 4.3 Vortec motor out of a Blazer, 90s Blazer, late model Blazer. You know, those things have two heads, you know, two sets of timing chains, and you gotta, you know, there's a lot more going on in those motors as opposed to like a four cylinder. You know, you got your cam sitting on top, timing sets in front, and then you got the block. It's, you know, it's pretty self-explanatory. You know, motor's pretty straightforward as opposed to others. So definitely, guys, if you guys are looking into getting into building motors, don't hesitate. You know, start with a cheap motor, you know, where the rebuilds are super cheap. If you're scared about money or blowing up on the first time, frankly, that's kind of what happens, you know, when you're doing stuff like this. You know, the tolerances are low, and maybe there's some things you don't know. There's so much I don't know. I don't necessarily know what I'm doing. I know the components of a motor, I know the jobs and the things that happen, I know how a motor works, but not necessarily how to time stuff correctly, or there's a lot that I still need to know. But I'm just doing it because I want to rebuild this motor and I want to do it myself. And, you know, there's no better way of learning than doing it. You know, you can only learn so much in a classroom or watching videos or whatnot. So definitely just get on it, get some hands-on experience if you want to do this yourself, and save yourself a lot of money, ultimately, in being able to build your own motors and not paying for labor and all that stuff for other people to do it for you. So before I take the head off, I need to, let me get this out. All right, now that I got that out, and take the timing chain off, or the guides off. And then once I do that, the head should be ready to take off. Just one. That's right, there's just one. So take him off. I'll go ahead and try to screw back in as many bolts as I can, if I can help it, so, you know, I don't lose them and stuff. It's a good practice, because then you just end up with a bunch of bolts on your, you know, you can label them, put them in baggies and stuff like that, but if I can help it, I just put these back for the meantime. Yeah, just, that's what I like to do. So like a dingus, I forgot to freaking, there was one more bolt I missed. So let me make room for the head. Timing set over there. Let me grab a towel, because I would like to not jack up the head. Oh, that's a little smaller than I thought. But yeah, I don't know, let me know, what do you guys think I'm gonna find? I don't think the cylinders will be that bad. Oh, maybe they will. Yeah, they're gonna be bad. Oh my God. Dang. That's pretty bad. Holy smokes, that's a lot of buildup. I mean, it's not crazy, but definitely. Is that coolant? No. Dang. Cylinder walls also have some marks. It's not deep, so we're good. Yeah, there's nothing too crazy. Cool. It's not the worst thing in the world. Now I'm gonna flip it over real quick and see what the bottom looks like. Let's see. Dang. There's a good amount of sludge in the pan. There's definitely oil shavings. Some right there. Good bit over there. Yep. Oh, I'm gonna take the bottom cradle off. See what's in store for us.